According to RIA Novosti, a Russian state-operated domestic news agency, the Russian Navy's top officer has acknowledged the country's hypersonic Zircon cruise missile is suffering childhood diseases, meaning it has several issues that need to be fixed before it can be deployed in combat. Admiral Nikolai Evmenov stated these issues would take at least a few years to resolve before the 3M22 Zircon becomes operational. He didn't reveal the nature of the issues. Viewers may note that the first sea trials of Zircon are yet to take place, despite it being scheduled for the end of 2019. The Russian military has seen delays in deploying several important assets, which include Sukhoi Su-57 fighter, as well as T-34 Armata Tank, and this is not surprising. Zircon is a crucial weapon for Russia, and its delay is a significant blow. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes the Russian Navy's top officer's admission that hypersonic Zircon cruise missile will not be ready anytime soon. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by War Thunder. If you are, like us, fascinated by military vehicles and technology, I recommend you give War Thunder a try. It's a military vehicle combat game which you can download and play for free on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. It has a huge variety of more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s, which you can take to battle on land, in the air, and at sea on more than 80 theaters of war. War Thunder's been kind enough to offer all Defense Updates viewers a special bonus, which will grant you a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account time for registering using our link in the description below. So take the plunge and join more than 20 million players from around the world. An object is said to be hypersonic once they exceed speeds of Mach 5. That's 5 times the speed of sound. This is about 1,715 meters per second, or 3,836 miles per hour, or 6,174 kilometers per hour. There are currently 3 methods being applied to make hypersonic weapons. The first is through the use of air-launched ballistic missiles, ALBM. As the name suggests, this kind of missile is ballistic in nature, but is launched from the air, unlike traditional ballistic missiles, which are launched from the land or sea-based platforms. The second is using Hypersonic Glide Vehicle, HGV. In this method, the system is launched to extremely high altitudes using ballistic missile or an aircraft where it reaches the Earth's upper atmosphere. The vehicle then separates from the carrier and glides back to the Earth towards its intended target, attaining hypersonic speed. The third is using a scramjet engine. The scramjet is an innovation on the ramjet. A ramjet engine can power a flight to supersonic speeds, but the scramjet can enable the missile to reach hypersonic speeds. In this method, a rocket booster is used to accelerate the missile to hypersonic speed. Then the scramjet engine kicks in and enables the missile to fly at sustained hypersonic speed. Zircon is based on this method. There is something to be noted here. Traditional ballistic missiles like American Minuteman III, Russian Satan, or Indian Agni ballistic missiles all travel at hypersonic speeds in their terminal phase, but are not considered to be true hypersonic weapons. The reason is that they follow a predictable ballistic trajectory and can't maneuver mid-course. The US has a military budget that's around 10 times that of Russia. American Navy is the largest in the world. US Navy alone operates around 10 nuclear-powered supercarriers, which are more than all the other nations combined, whereas Russia's only aircraft carrier, Admiral Kuznetsov, is non-operational due to a recent accident. Viewers can check the video on the above card to know more. US Navy also has 65 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers and 22 Ticonderoga-class cruisers that are in active service. So it's not possible for Russia to match the US Navy platform to platform, and it needs something that provides them asymmetric capability to counter the US Navy. The main defensive weapon of the U.S. surface ships are as follows. 1. Evolved Sea Sparrow Missiles (ESSM) is the primary air defense system. It has a range of 10 nautical miles or 19 kilometers and a speed of Mach 3.5. Arleigh Burke class has 96-cell Mark 41 vertical launch system (VLS), whereas Ticonderoga class has 122 of these. Each can be quad-packed with ESSM. 2. RIM 116 rolling airframe missiles are small, lightweight, infrared homing surface-to-air missiles meant for point defense. It has a speed in excess of Mach 2 and has a range of 9 kilometers or 5.6 miles. 3. Phalanx Close-In Weapon System is deployed for last-ditch defense against airborne threats. It uses an automated 20mm Gatling gun, which is capable of firing up to 50 rounds per second. These defensive weapons could potentially be saturated by a barrage of supersonic anti-ship missiles, and against hypersonic missiles, they're almost ineffective. U.S. Navy's surface fleet also has warships that incorporate the Aegis combat system. The Aegis Ballistic Missile Defense System is designed by the United States Department of Defense Missile Defense Agency to protect against short and intermediate-range ballistic missiles. It enables the warships to shoot down enemy ballistic missiles by expanding the Aegis combat system with the addition of the ANSPY-1 radar and standard missiles like SM-2 or SM-3 missile. But this system is not designed to defend against maneuvering cruise missiles, and this is where Zircon comes in. As per President Putin's address in the Russian Federation Assembly last year, the Zircon is capable of reaching speeds of Mach 9. So it's much faster than a bullet fired from a sniper rifle, actually almost 3 times the speed of a sniper's bullet. The kinetic energy alone will rip a ship apart like a tin can. Mr. Putin stated that the missile has a range of over 1,000 kilometers or 620 miles. The missile weighs 5 tons. President Putin mentioned that the missile can destroy both seagoing and land targets. As per reports, the Zircon will have both radar target seeker and an optical electric complex to detect and track targets. The missile could be equipped with a high explosive warhead or even a tactical nuclear warhead. Mr. Putin had told the Zircon is mainly intended to be deployed in seagoing platforms, such as serially made surface warships and submarines, including those that are already operational and being built. The most important aspect of Zircon is its speed. The speed would give air defenses very little time to detect and fire interceptors. It's to be noted that America's Government Accountability Office (GAO) report has stated that the U.S. currently lacks the defenses required to protect against the latest crop of hypersonic weapons being developed by China and Russia. The report states, China and Russia are pursuing hypersonic weapons because their speed, altitude, and maneuverability may defeat most missile defense systems, and they may be used to improve long-range conventional and nuclear strike capabilities. There are no existing countermeasures. In its response to the GAO, the Department of Defense described the report as an accurate, although sobering, macro picture of how the U.S. stands in the world against emerging threats. So, if Zircon is deployed successfully, and it works as it's stated by Russia, it will be a challenge. But this is hardly the case with Russia, and revelation of Admiral Nikolai Evmenov confirms it. On May 15, 2019, Mr. Putin revealed that a procurement plan is being laid out for acquiring 76 Su-57 for the Russian Air Force, and it's expected that these will be deployed by 2028. This is a major delay, as the Kremlin previously planned to have 150 of these aircraft in service by 2020. Similarly, the Russian government had decided to curtail production of new T-14 Armata Tank and had instead preferred upgrading its existing T-90 tanks. It remains to be seen how the deployment of Zircon pans out in the future.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.